how can we identify a niche and specialization that is this question is not only personally fulfilling, but also in demand within the current legal job market. Okay, so you have to, a lot of this too is about asking questions, about seeing what people are doing, about networking, figuring out how people are doing things right and doing things in business. It's about seeing what's in the market. It's talking to a lot of people. The big problem that a lot of people make is they go into their careers and they decide that for whatever reason, they want to do a certain type of law. They say they want to do corporate law, or want to do real estate law, or want to do whatever, just because maybe they had an interest in it at one point, or they knew someone or whatever. And so in order to really do that, you need to get exposed to as much as possible. You should be reading. You should be trying to talk to lawyers doing different things. You should be going to talks, and you need to get into a lot of different things to learn that stuff. But I will tell you a couple of points and that I think are important to guide people in terms of your practice area and what you want to do. And this may help you, it may not, but I think this is something that I tell a lot of people. So you have transactional attorneys, and then you have transactional. So I don't know how to spell actional attorneys, and then you have transactional attorneys, and then you have litigation, litigation related. And then I'll talk about this a little more. And then you have attorneys motivated by serving others, supporting them, companies, etc. And then they're serving people. So these are just some examples, and I'll explain this all to you in a minute, why I'm giving you this information. And this is so you can understand what you'll do well in, and this is why I'm telling you all this. Okay, so transactional attorneys are people that do things like real estate, they do corporate, they may do, different type of transactional related things. So transactional, I'll just show you real quick here. These would be out of these practice areas, all these corporate things would be transactions, bankruptcy that's not related to things. It would be all these corporate things. It would be data privacy transactional. It would be transactional ledger power. It would be environmental land use and transactions and compliance. It would be finance. It would be, so you get the idea. So anything that's transactional is going to be different than is doing transactions. And then the people that like doing that's documenting things and being careful, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what that is. And then you have litigation. That's what is litigation related. Litigation related is going to be, when you get into this stuff, it's just so you can just see again, it's going to be data privacy litigation. It's going to be construction litigation, and you have plaintiff and defendant. And then it's going to be, so you can just see all of these things. Then you have litigation. Look how, and I just want you to get a sense. And this is what I do all day, by the way. If anybody's interested in this kind of stuff, very few people are, but I look at attorneys, I categorize them, but then you have litigation, all these different types of litigation. Just, it's huge. There's so much in litigation. So here's my point. My point is you have litigation related, fighting, et cetera, and then fighting with words, and then you have transactional. So for your standpoint, and for everyone's standpoint, so you understand where's your natural fit, people that like math, science, et cetera, tend to do better at transactional work, then that tends to be where they gravitate towards naturally. Meaning if they're given the choice between doing a math problem and writing a short story or arguing a point or something, they would much prefer to do the math problem or the other one, depending on litigation related and so forth. And so these tend to be verbal things, which are like English, languages, you get the idea, English, political science, et cetera, psychology, all those kind of things. So whatever you're best at, you will gravitate towards one thing. So your practice area should be related, hopefully, to being either a transactional attorney or a litigation attorney. So you have those two different paths. So that's very important. Like, how do you choose? It's only going to be personally fulfilling to the extent that you're doing something. So I would hate to sit down and write transactional documents for the rest of my career. It would be suicidal level dislike. Doesn't mean that's just me. Litigation is exactly up my alley. That's exactly what I like, or anything to do with litigation and writing and coming up with clever work. That's what I like. So you are either one or the other, most people. So you need to pick a transactional litigated practice area. Now, within those practice areas, you have people that are motivated by working for others. So what does that mean? People feel important working on behalf of a big corporation or feel important. They important working for important people. So that's a big deal to them. They feel they want their servants. They want to help the companies, and they want that, or the big businesses and things that they're working for. That gets them turned on and excited. They feel like a big deal, and they feel like they're able to protect people or companies, and that makes them excited. People will either be motivated by others that are more important, or sometimes people are motivated by less important, which should be personal injury and all that sort of stuff, or criminal. And so you'll have a motivation to work for people, or you have a motivation to work with people that are less important, or people that are more important. And you just have to understand that. And then you also have, are you independent? Independent, meaning do you want to do things on your own, or are you want to be around others? Work collaboratively. So that means, do you want to be your own boss, and do you want to just have all the attention come to you, or do you want, so these are your three things that you need to look at when you're choosing something. So you have transaction related or litigation related. That's the first thing. So you have to decide what box you're going to go there. And a lot of times people that are unhappy are just in the wrong. They should be doing litigation, and they're transactional. They should be doing whatever. And then working for others, that's the second point. So are you going to be happier basically helping others and being there in terms of the more important, and you're going to pick up the pieces for them and advise them, and they're going to call you on the phone and ask you legal questions, and you're going to feel important doing that? Or are you going to want to help people that are injured and criminals and stuff? And then do you want to be independent, or do you want to be around others? So all of these choices will have a bearing on what you should be doing. And you need to pick something that matches that. And so a lot of people don't give this any thought. Like when I was working in the summer, my second year, when the law firm was going to make offers, they were basically saying, are we going to make the offers for people that are do you want to be corporate, or do you want to be this? And if I'd stayed with that New York firm, I would have had to have been a corporate attorney. And that doesn't match what I like to do. So you have to decide what practice area you want to be in. And then you have to decide if it makes you happy. Then you decide what kind of clients you want to work for. And then you decide how you want to work. Do you want to have your own firm and be independent, or do you want to be around others? And those are the three decisions. So that is how you decide what specialty you want to be in. And regardless of what you choose, there's always work. There's plenty of work. You just have to know how to, the ways I was showing you, find places to work and find the right places. Pretty much how it works. Okay, this is a good question. I appreciate all these questions a lot, by the way, because these are really helping a lot of people. So that's going on there. Okay, so next question. What does marketing look like? Is it simplest in an email and making connections to attorneys? No. So marketing, I answered that earlier. Sorry. You have this. You have ineffective marketing, and then you have effective marketing. So marketing is basically making sure that you get yourself out there. So you have to figure out how to market your service, and what's the best way of doing it. Is it look at all the things that companies do to get attention, or businesses to get attention for themselves. They send things in the mail. Just the time I've been sitting here, in the past 20 minutes, I've gotten 3 robocalls or something. And so people will do all sorts of things, but you have to do things effectively. So basically package your product. You say, this is what practice here I'm in. This is what my expertise is in. And then you start, nothing wrong with applying to jobs on LinkedIn and Indeed. That's something that you should do. There's nothing wrong with applying to openings. There's nothing wrong to any of this stuff, but effective is going to be doing things other people aren't doing. So it's applying to places without openings. And there's, in most markets, 100 of these places. So no one is doing this. So why wouldn't you market yourself to someone that's not being marketed to, as opposed to someone that's getting a lot of marketing? Don't you stand a better chance of getting a job and finding a good place if you're marketing to places that are actively seeking things? Just think about it. If someone walked into my office and said, hey, I really want to be a legal recruiter, like I've dreamed about it since I've been young, would you give me a shot or something? I would say, hell yeah. But no one's ever done that. Actually, one person did. People just don't think like that. They think in terms of their ego and how it's going to look and all this stuff. So applying to places without openings, dropping your resume off, or sending it through the mail and not email. That's huge. If someone sends me a letter like of their resume, I haven't seen one of those in 10 years. But if I got one, I would look at it and I'm putting it on my desk and think, maybe is there some way I can use this person? And then law crossing, again, full disclosure, it's my company. But the only thing it does is it goes out and advertises and looks looks for jobs that are advertised, that finds them on their website or little bar association things and sites and stuff. So these are jobs that are not typically getting a lot of applications. So that's very helpful. And then effective would be doing things like I told you, writing articles or papers or finding things written by others and all these sorts of things and finding a hungry market. That's what marketing looks like. Marketing is not saying, hey, can I work for you with that email? Marketing is crafting a message that works and getting people's attention. That's it. So if you do that effectively, then you market says that's what it looks like. And I really wish people would do that. And because so many people just don't get jobs or aren't getting enough of what they should do. It's crazy.